It's about what's going on and how it's going to continue or change after the Tunisian revolution and what is happening in Egypt. Because, and I'm not saying this just because I'm Egyptian, but because even Moroccans and Syrians and everyone say that, and it's known that changes in Egypt affects the whole of the Arab region more than any other country. Now, we are not just considering a new regime, we are considering a civilian regime. We are not accepting military candidates to the presidential elections, because since the 1952 revolution we had 4 presidents. The last was for 30 years. It's enough, you know. We just had enough, and it's about this idea that even the population, even the youth who started the revolution, are not pro being put under the wings of opposition, and that will change the whole vision of how Egypt is going to be like. Because, for example, we were talking about what's happening in Morocco, about the Ministry of Human Rights. We have a Ministry of Human Rights. We are considering the same in Egypt, and we are considering having a very strong civilian participation in the government. And so such change in the not just the figures of the regime, but the core of it, I'm sure it will affect the whole of the other Middle East. I'll tell you what happened in the revolution. After the Tunisian revolution, people started Facebooking about the 25th of January anger day against emergency law, torture, poverty, and injustice. I want to tell you that personally I was mocking the idea, and me and my colleague at work were like, we'll wear baby blue and turn off our BB, and it's like, we don't have blackberries, and we're not the kind of people who wear it. But it started with a flame of one person going down the street, calling a friend, not knowing if he'll show up, and it turned into hundreds and thousands. Those people in the Tahrir Square were both not of political orientation and of political orientation. But what happened is that we no longer accept being presented by certain figures that have been trying to voice themselves for years and were not able, because those figures were the first to accept talking with the regime, and we're not with that. Okay, so there's the coalition of the liberals and the leftists working on one and only aspect, and only demand is the demand for change. And now we have what we call the civil committees, and these civil committees are what moving the movement in Egypt. This is nothing written down in it's nothing like a party. No, it's a coalition of people who accept differences and agree to accept their differences and agree to work together. So this is exactly what's happening, that those who are considering are the people in the movement, either of political orientation or not, or from different political orientations. And they are rising their demands qualitatively and quantitatively to the government. I'm only certain that people will die. I'm not certain of any other thing in my life. But there is the possibility, there's a very strong possibility that Mubarak is playing a dirty game. Okay, the whole of the regime are playing a dirty game. The game that people will get tired, people will lose hope, people are not used to demanding change, because sociologically speaking, the Egyptian people are not tend to rise into demonstration. They are known to be day by day livers. And even Omar Suleiman, the vice president, came on TV and said, I can't believe that the people want to change the president. It's not like them. And he said, then yeah, it's not like us because we have had enough. So if Mubarak is playing a dirty game, we are playing a very peaceful and decent game that for 2 weeks it's been daily protests. Since Sunday it's been day in, day out. So people rest and they go back. People go to work and then they go back. I'm not sure I'm not sure about Mubarak himself. I'm sure about the people. That they will not stop. If you see them in a very taking it to an emotional sense, if you see how people who are known to be to throw garbage in the streets and harass female foreigners and have the worst traffic, then you don't know what's happening. You don't know that there are people who are chanting and singing and praying together and cleaning the square together and eating koshari together. This is the most fundamental and cheapest food in the country. And they are giving each other blankets, and we have civil committees to protect the neighborhood since the police are out. On last week I was going back from the protest with my car, and more than one committee came and started seeing me and it's like, okay, where were you? I was in the protest. They were very happy. And I haven't met a single person who haven't said that they have never felt safer more than in the square. And this is a change, because yes, again, we are known to be a warm country and loving country, but there has never been this such intimacy and strong connection between the people, because they are not protesting against what happened in the church, in the Alexandrian church. They are not protesting for Palestine. They are not protesting for the rise of expenses. They are protesting against something that they will never disagree about, and that is their liberty and dignity. And I'm sure of the people. I don't care about Mubarak and his policy. I'm sure about the people. That's it.
That's a lot.